Yeah! If there's any truth to this world, it's that this world will always have crap. However, for every piece of crap, there is an equal amount of bull crap. The way I like to define it is this: bull crap, or just simply bull, is crap that is fun. On the surface, it's crap. In practice, and technically speaking, it is crap. But there is something about it that draws one in. And what is the most identical quality about crap? Unless you've been eating a lot of greens, it's probably brown. And I don't think any other band in history has ever defined brown better than the experimental rock goofballs from Pennsylvania themselves, Ween. Today we're going to be going over Pure Guava from 1992. Before I go on, I probably have to do some explaining here. Ween probably seems like a novelty band to a lot of people, seeing as they made Ocean Man, a song that is famous for being in SpongeBob once. And the fact that their band name is Ween, it doesn't really roll off the tongue as well as a band like Foo Fighters or Pearl Jam or Smashing Pumpkins. However, artistically, Ween is so far above most bands from this era, mostly due to the fact that they have covered so many territories musically. The genres these guys explore range from punk, blues, alternative rock, progressive rock, folk, country, a little bit of reggae too, some soul as well, heavy metal even at a few points. However, what I want to talk about today is a genre that they invented. That's right, these guys invented a genre. They call it brown. It's just called brown. Okay, they didn't really invent it, but their approach to it is very unique. What they describe as brown is something that, technically speaking, does not sound good, and in practice doesn't sound good, but it is made with so much love and care that it becomes good regardless. Brown shares a lot stylistically with lo-fi indie and outsider music, two genres that were never mutually exclusive, but did go hand in hand occasionally, especially in the case of Daniel Johnston, who Michael Melchiondo, better known as Dean Ween, one half of Ween, cited as a major influence for the band in their early years, saying that most songwriters would have given anything to have written one song as good as any Daniel Johnston too, and he has hundreds. However, Daniel Johnston's music is very honest, it's very stripped back, it's very humble. Sometimes it's pretty damn uncomfortable how raw some of his stuff is. However, if Daniel Johnston was Bob Dylan, then Ween or Frank Zappa. They just throw bullcrap against the wall and it just sticks. It just sticks on there, because it's crap, it's sticky. Ween were a lot more sharp. They were more technical, more psychedelic, and overall more playful. They still threw a lot of crap at the wall. They put out their debut record in 1990, titled God, Ween, Satan, The Oneness, which could not be a better example of the talent and variety these guys had to offer at the time. There's even an 8-minute long cover of like 12 Prince songs, all mashed into one massive macro cover. The album also showcased their cartoonish approach to songwriting and their lo-fi production. The following year, in 1991, Ween released The Pod, which doubled down on all the lo-fi shit and the absurd songwriting, but with instrumentation that sounded more unhinged and insane than anything on the debut record. If I could describe the album in one word, or anything from this era really, it would be floppy. Or I guess brown, that works too. The recording for The Pod took place at an apartment building also called The Pod, and during these sessions, they recorded another album, which is the one I'm going to be talking about today, Pure Guava. Finally, we're talking about this 3 minutes in. Here we go. If God, Weed, and Satan's biggest strength was its variety and the Pod's strength was its abrasiveness, then Pure Guava is the sharpest and most psychedelic of the bunch. This is the farthest that Ween have ever dipped their toes into the abstract, with more flangers and chorus filters being applied than on any other Ween album ever. The mix on these songs is tightened up a lot more than on the Pod as well, and the variety on here is almost on par with God, Weed, and Satan. However, where Pure Guava truly soars over the other two is its lack of filler. The track list on here seems incredibly kempt in contrast with the last two albums, where there might have been a bit too much blues on God, Ween, Satan and The Pod. Most of it's just kind of gargly. Like most of the tracks on there are probably the most nonsensical that Ween has ever made, but I feel like there's still a fair amount of nonsense on Pure Guava, but it's balanced out by the duo's incredible songwriting, which is catchier than ever. The song Push the Little Daisies on here was their first big hit for a reason, but there are also tracks on here like Reggae Yankee Jew, which are as bombastic as they are memorable. This album has a very unique approach to use of a drum machine in a rock context. The fact that they're using a drum machine throughout the entirety of this, mixed with the hyper-flange guitars and manipulated vocals, can almost classify this thing as an electronic album. But I might be pushing that claim a little bit too much there. Hell, if the Silver Apples can be considered electronic, then so can Ween, I guess. A bit of historical context here. At the time, nothing sounded like this at all. Nothing at all blended so many styles together. Nothing had this kind of songwriting with these kind of genre blends. Nothing had this kind of production with this kind of songwriting with these kind of genre blends. Ween were one of a kind, and still are technically. I mean, no one's really tried to replicate this sound, which is only a testament to how unique it was and still is. But at the end of the day, most people will call it crap. But to me, it is the most beautiful kind of crap. It's bullcrap. Okay, so in the last video I made, I said that I was going to do a thing on Dean Blunt, and I've lied to you again. I will lie to you as many times as I want. You are my slaves. You will give me subscribers and views, and maybe you'll like. You probably won't like it. You'll leave a comment. You'll leave a comment. That'll be the thing that happens. You'll leave a comment. I don't know what album I'm gonna do next.